Hey Stampers, I'm Meg from LovenStamps, and if it looks like I am all cozy in my super warm sweatshirt, it's because I am, and it's really cold, and we got another snow day today here, just for cold weather and drifts and stuff. So I have on my super warm sweatshirt here. It was my project yesterday, and one of the things I love is crossovers. So here is some ribbon that you might recognize as a past Stampin' Up! Ribbon that makes a great a tie for something like that. So anyway, I have a fun Friday project for you. It's kind of a fresh Friday makeover. So I know a lot of us sit down and we want to make a project and we kind of stare at our stuff and go, I don't know what to make. So this project today is for you. This tutorial is for you if you've ever had stamper's block. Because I think one of the easiest ways to overcome stamper's block is to grab a past card that you made or you liked, or even something from like a whole book of fabulous cards, and then grab some stamps, grab some paper, and make that card over with your things that you have on hand. So I actually was flipping through some old cards and I found this one that I thought was really cute. It's from Sale-a-bration a while ago, like a round or two ago, and it opened like this as a designer series card base. A DSP card base is what I like to call them, and I have hashtag for that, so link in the video description, you can check that out. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make this over. So we're gonna take that card and we're going to adapt it for some new things, which are the Friendly Hello stamp set and the coordinating designer series paper, which is absolutely gorgeous because a DSP card base often uses a little more designer series paper than we would otherwise. And when it's free, you could just get another package. So anyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Sale-a-bration. On my website, there is more information about that. So, all right, good morning, everybody. Kim and Roxanne and Margie and Trish and Sally. I hope everyone's staying warm. And Cheryl and Terry and Sue and Brenda and Tanya. I got a message from somebody this morning that said they were ready an hour early because of the time change. And I was like, what time change? Did I miss a time change? Anyway, so we're here. So let's flip our stuff down and get started. Now in the video description today are the cutting sizes and scoring directions for the project, so you can easily check those out. And my camera's in a little bit different spot than usual, I think. So we have more stuff to see here. Let's see, there's about right. So designer series paper, 12 inches wide, which is just perfect. You don't have to worry about that. And then you're gonna score it at, oh my gosh, the link is in the video description. Let's see, what did I say? 3.5 and 8 3/4. And then you're gonna use a mat for this, which is going to be, there we go, that's better. Just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. So 4 1/4 this way by 5 1/2 this way, okay? Really simple. And then we are going to layer them. Now, the Hello Friendly Designer Series paper, Friendly Hello Designer Series paper is great. It doesn't really have an up or a down. It just depends where you end up with your piece. So I kind of like to look at it and go like, oh, okay, these main birds right here clearly want to go this direction. So, but depending on where you cut it, you're gonna find that some of the birds are up and some are down, which makes it really flexible, okay? So this piece here is going to get layered, and then we have our simple open. So a great design. Now I like to use a strong adhesive for this part, like CO Plus or good old tear tape there. Also a good possibility. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this on because you don't want your layers to come apart. And since they're kind of getting, people are opening them, then you're gonna get a little more than otherwise. So let's see. Sue says we got over a foot of snow. Is it that much? The drifts around here are somewhere between 3 inches and 4 feet. So just depending on where you are, we have crazy drifting, which my dog got really confused about. She's like bounding across the snow and then she'll like sink in and like way up to her chin. So she doesn't identify the drifts very well. Okay, so now to add some decoration to our card. I'm gonna bring back in our sample, right? Because remember, we're like basically casing this card. It says for copy and share everything, CASE, or we're making over or taking a Fresh Friday look. But basically we have this panel that's gonna go here, and then we have a horizontal line. So we're gonna hang on to this, and we're gonna work on this panel. Now, this stamp set didn't have a die, and the stamp set that we're using today doesn't have a die. So let's make it easy for ourselves and use a standard shape. You can use a heart, you can use a circle, you can use a punch, but you know that one of my go-tos is hands down the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which are scrambled up in here, but you can see the rectangles in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sizes. Then there are some other, like 3, 4 other fun shapes in there. So I was like playing Tetris here to get them back in. But I went ahead and cut one of these from basic white cardstock. And I thought, you know, for these colors, rather than going with a variety, I thought we'd kind of go monochromatic for this. So we're gonna bring in some Stampin' Blends markers, and then maybe just to get it a little darker, I'm gonna add Bermuda Bay. So this is Pool Party, and the great thing about Stampin' Up! Colors is that everything matches: paper, designer series paper, blends. And then because the inside of our card is very Granny Apple Green, I thought maybe we'll bring in some Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blends to complement. So now the link in the video description has the supplies for everything. I didn't put these other ones in here. Tanya says this is making her want to try a DSP card, DSP as the card base like this. You haven't ever done one? Oh my gosh, Tanya, you have to. It's like your homework assignment for the weekend. I'm just kidding. You don't have homework from watching videos, but it is really easy. And if you are a person who's like, I don't need more designer series paper because I have so much already, then use it. It's beautiful on both sides. Just make the most of it and go ahead and use it for DSP card bases. So, all right. So let's go ahead and bring in the greeting here. I love the bird image, especially since it matches our paper. But I also love this Hello Friend, and it is one of my favorite greetings. Let's see. Okay, remind me at the end. I actually have a whole bunch of samples of this paper, and I can show them all to you. I think there's probably like 10 of them. So just don't let me forget. Sometimes I get to the end. But this Hello Friend is just beautiful. There's marketing for you, HelloFresh. But I want to make sure I get a really good image. So when I'm using photopolymer and I just want a stellar standout image, I always bring my mat to put underneath. This is a piercing mat. And what it does is it basically adds like that little give to the equation of stamp and table and paper, just so you get a really great contact, okay? So think about this. Lisa needs the dimensions. They're in the video description, Lisa. I just put them right in there today to make it simple. Now, I don't always use those. Sometimes I get kind of lazy. Now, here's the problem. We don't have a room for our bird, right? We could make it stick out there, but that's like a weird, actually it looks like kind of a narwhal or something. If you turn it this way and you had like just that much of it, it could be a narwhal. Okay, we're not gonna put the faux narwhal on here though. We're going to go ahead and stamp just the flowers, okay? So I'm gonna cut the bird off, which gives us that great flower image. Okay, I guess we got the top of the bird, but no one's gonna know except us. And then I'm gonna use the edge of the flowers here to add just one more up there at the corner. Now there are some flower images in here, like this one here, but I kind of like the size of these and the way they go together with the leaves, so you could, use both. All right. So I'm gonna set this aside, put the lid on it, and we're gonna come in here now with our Stampin' Blends. So I'm gonna do some Pool Party flowers. Wish you could get the DSP without the stamps. Yes, I hear what you're saying, Roxanne. So one of the things that I have enjoyed doing sometimes when I get extras of the stamp set is sharing with a friend. So you want the paper, so just get a second one and then share the stamps with a friend. They're a really great stamp set for someone who's just getting started in stamping, because Hello Friend is good for every occasion. There's a birthday greeting in there, and love and support. And I don't know about you guys, that is what I send most of my cards for. Birthdays, love and support kind of covers a a lot of the covers a lot of the situations. So think about sharing it with friends. All right, and I'm gonna use my Granny Apple Green and add this punch of color. I don't have to work too hard to color the leaves because they're sort of a reverse image there. So I'm just gonna color the veining, and we're gonna call that a leaf there, our bird, our faux narwhal. All right, now if you were watching, I was talking about something else. But I went in, I did a light color of Pool Party on the whole flower, and then I went in with a darker and went around the edges. And I'm gonna leave the centers like uncolored, I think. I'm just gonna leave them like that. Okay, so then this we can bring back to our card. All right, so we're gonna have it off center, so just kind of like our sample, remember, because we're doing a makeover, or refresh, a freshen up Friday. I'm gonna bring this kind of to the side. And what that does here, look at it right here in the center. That is a very static kind of look. It just kind of sits there, and then your eye doesn't really move, it just sits. So when you move it down to the side like this, it gives the whole card a lot more motion and a lot more activity and a little more interest. So think about where you're placing your cards to kind of lead the person to open it. Plus, then they are gonna find that it has this fun opening. So, all right, so we're gonna go with this. We're gonna put our strip under here, something like that. So you can decide if you wanna cover it up entirely or leave it there. I think I'm gonna go like this, but I have a surprise for this still coming here. And I'm gonna trim this about there. I might trim it more, but all right, so here's my surprise. I thought, you know what? Let's give this a little bit more visual interest. Let's bring in some ribbon. And so I was thinking, oh, that mint macaron velvet ribbon kind of shows pretty nicely as a Pool Party. So plus velvet, this is so rich. It just adds to the fanciness of our card, just fancies it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a piece there, so we have that. But then there's also this Pool Party sheer ribbon, which is also really pretty. So which one to use? And I just decided we were gonna use both. Why pick just one, okay? So these are going to come down like this. Now make life easy for yourself. Attach the ribbons to the cardstock, okay? I kind of like to not attach them the full way across because I like for there to be just a little of like, not floppiness, that's not really what we're going for, but just a little freedom. So, you know, where this isn't really attached all the way across, okay? And then we're gonna need our Pool Party sheer ribbon, and it's gonna overlap like this, but you don't want blunt ends. You know, haircuts with blunt ends are kind of in right now. My daughter just got her hair cut with a blunt end cut, and it's super cute, but we don't want blunt ends on our ribbons. Okay. And then I'm gonna shorten this so we have some staggered length there, which is one of my favorites. And then our Hello Fresh is gonna go on top. Now, let's see where to layer these. I think I want my ribbons to show kind of underneath. Yeah, let's see. We'll do about like that, okay? Because I don't wanna cover up all that pretty velvet ribbon. So now I need to attach this one. And I am going to do that by just putting it on the back of the paper here. So think about where you can have your attachment points for things so that you're not, you know, stressing yourself out about where the adhesive is gonna show and where it's gonna not show. So I'm gonna use some multi-purpose liquid glue right there at the bottom. And I know you can't really see that, but my motto for this glue is if you can see it, it's enough. And I don't really want to glue it to my table or get glue everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it on my silicone craft mat just for that second that it takes to bond. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there. Okay, so while that's giving itself a chance to dry, let's go ahead and stamp the inside of our card, which I have just realized I did not cut cardstock for. So let me do a quick cut here. So let's see, this layer is going to be a half inch less than a full card. So it's gonna be 5 inches by 3 3/4, okay? So I just took sort of that half and then half inch and reduced it. So if you're not wanting to measure, remember to think about the just start with standard. So you know 4 1/4 is the standard, so just subtract 1/2 inch. And then you know here 5 1/2 is the standard, so just subtract 1/2 inch. You make it easy for yourself if you're not like a huge measuring fan. Just perfectly okay. All right, so for the inside of our card, I already said that I think this stamp set has great greetings. So let's make a birthday. And I'm gonna bring back in my black and stamp here in the center. Okay, whew, I almost dropped that one. And then we want to decorate the inside of this, and I think I'm going to bring in a Pool Party ink pad and add some of the other flowers. So we have these pretty flowers here, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp kind of around the edge of our card. Oops. Oh gosh. Okay. So risky. Yeah, we'll just flip it over. One of the great things about the Stampin' Up! Cardstock is that it, oh, in case you didn't see, I kind of doubled that there because I didn't ink the stamp the whole way. Anyway, if you saw that coming when I was inking and you're like, ah, Meg, wait, don't stamp. I missed it. All right, so let's try this again. And make sure your whole stamp is on the ink pad when you're stamping. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go around the edge of our card, kind of at the bottom, and we'll add just a little more partial flower over there, and a teeny bit there. Okay, so we have sort of this across the bottom. And then you will want to stamp your envelope. So here's my envelope, and I'm gonna do the same thing here. Kind of vary the angle just a little bit for your stamps. There you go. Okay, and I'll just put one up here. There we go. All right, it's fun when you have a pretty stamp and you just want to keep stamping. Yeah, I'm sure there's room for one more there. Okay, so let's bring our card base back in, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach our layer on the inside. Oh, what I started to say was the Stampin' Up! Cardstock is great because you can stamp on both sides. Some cardstocks are fairly thin, and once you've stamped on one side, you can't flip it over because it'll show through. So, all right, so now we have this. We have our basic gray layer across here, and I'm gonna go ahead and use a strong adhesive to attach this. And kind of dangerous to do this without eyeing our our friendly hello. And then let's bring this back in here. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then I kind of like the way that turned out. So now I'm going to take this, and on the back, I am going to pop dimensionals. Now, if you line it up right here, then you can safely put your dimensionals without accidentally popping the dimensionals out in this space and sealing your card shut. And then I'm going to put one there that's on the edge. It's just going to hold our Pool Party ribbon in place, just a teeny bit. All right, and sticking this on now. We can layer our ribbon and have that show up. There we go, okay? Now, I don't know about you. Well, I know Sue is going to agree with me, but I think we need some bling on this card. So here is the inside. And for bling, I grabbed the sequins here. These are the Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins, and I adore these. They always seem to have the exact color that I want. You can see I have a couple packages here interspersed, and I keep them, of course, in one of my clear envelopes. And let's see. So I am finding that these always have the colors that I want. They're really flexible. And so I'm gonna grab the blue ones here. They're kind of Pool Party. And I'm gonna set these aside because I'm gonna show you sort of another card that is totally different color scheme. So let's see, I'm gonna pop one down there and one here. And we want to emphasize our focal point with our sequins. So friend is our big emphasis. So I kind of grouped my embellishments right there around our friend word, okay? So with our envelope, there is our very fun DSP card base. Would you like to see this in another color? I did one also in the designer series paper here. I really like this paper with just like the mono color, so just the pale papaya or just the pool party. You could of course do this with any of the papers from this set, but I went ahead and did one in pale papaya. So here's our pale papaya. I swapped it out for the pale papaya ribbon here, and colored with pale papaya Stampin' Blends. And this is where I said like, hey, look it, I still have little sequins to match everything. So I went ahead and used the sequins there, and it's purple on the inside. So I stamped the envelope with fresh freesia and the center to go there. So there are two different versions of this fabulous Hello Friend card. Let's see. Okay, I promised you guys more cards. Let me grab my basket and I'll show you the rest of these, because there are, these papers are so pretty. They just really jump out as a fun way to stamp. And you're gonna see the big Hello Friend greeting over and over again. So if you watched my catalog premiere, you might have seen some of these before, but I'll show them to you again. So this one here is by Evie Di Piazza, and she went ahead and colored hers. So she's got her multicolor flowers because this fabulous stamp set lets you do that. There are stamps for each part, and so she went ahead and stamped them, and it's just a really great combination of images. So, and then she stamped the background. Here is a fun one featuring the designer series paper from Susan LaCroix. It's kind of a fun fold card. And this one is by Linda Bowen, and she used a panel here, a 3x4 paper piece. This is one of my favorites. Here is one Teresa Tucker. She cut out the bird, which is a great idea. But see, she used Stitch So Sweetly here, the same die from the ones that we used today. Here's another Michelle Grimble featured this purple paper. So the purple paper, does it come just like that? I can't remember now. Let's see, because you could do exactly our same, yep, it does. So here's the purple paper. It comes just like that, and you could do exactly our same card in purple. In fact, hers kind of looks almost like we did. Look, same kind of layout. See what I mean there? This is a really great layout, and because we didn't put, Michelle didn't either, we didn't put the greeting right in the center, we moved it to the side, it just gives the card more movement, okay? This one is by Jody Reinert, and even Jody didn't put hers right in the center. She had a little offset there. This one is by Tammy Ackerson, and she went ahead and used the same paper we did, but she used that same idea where you don't have to fussy cut your bird or die cut your bird. You can use a standard shape. So she used these octagons here. I had to count the sides there. This one is by Betsy Kreider. Okay, and Betsy used the fabulous idea of stamping on the designer series paper. So she stamped on the paper, and then she fussy cut all those little flowers. So go Betsy. Let's see, this one is by Jan McClurg, and she did fussy cut the birds, but then she kind of echoed it here with the same paper. This one is by Mary McCormick. She used this idea that we talked about, standard shape, and then stamping so you don't have to cut. And then she colored her flowers. I like the way she colored just the center parts there. So we colored a little bit more of our flowers, but I kind of like hers with the white left around the edges. So here is another one, Margaret Van Vliet, who cut her bird. And then this die set here is that die, I can't remember what it's called, but there's 3 panels and there's circles and stuff too. Let's see, this one, I don't know who's by. This one's by Laura Bardo. And Laura went with a bold color. So she did some die cutting from another set, and then had this really pretty honeycomb folder in the background on the Bermuda Bay. This one had a fun edge, and I don't know whose card this is, so let's see if I can, it's not, okay, so I don't know who made this card, but it had a fun leading edge here, so that one is the die cut edge. This one is by Janice Waitman. She had the same concept, scallops around the edge, and then just stamp on this panel rather than trying to stamp and cut your images. This one's by Leanne Greff. She used a really great bold color, and you'll see here like how many of these cards feature this Hello Friends stamp set. that big greeting right there. So, all right. So I think that's the cards I have for you. That was quite a few though. All right. So I hope, oh, Peekaboo dies. Thanks, Sue. I hope that you guys have, let's see. Oh yeah. Jan says, could you take them out of the sleeve? Yeah, I know there's a glare. That's why I try and move them around a little bit. Okay. So here, I'll show you guys the cards again. So here's this one. Somebody said, I didn't even think about this, but somebody said that they like to take screenshots of the pictures or of the cards. And so let's see. And then I also lose track of whose they are because I want to make sure that I give credit to people for their gorgeous work. But there we go. So they take screenshots. I guess my face doesn't need to be in your screenshot. Here's how this one opens like that. And keep those for their own, keeping track of the cards. So let's see, here's this one. And this one. And there we go. Let's see, I don't know if I showed you that one. Oh, Sandy Rule. There you go. She used kind of a strip of cardstock there. So what are you guys up to for your weekend? I hope everybody has a little crafty time kind of planned. There's that one. I try and hold it kind of straight. And that you have a chance to stay warm for sure. Deborah says try to stay warm this weekend. There you go. There's another one. Let's see. Here is this one. Oh, this one actually has a fun fold. I didn't realize too. So here's this. It opens like this. So this one, you would split your card in half. Oh, Kathy says she's spending the weekend digging out. I hear you. It has been crazy. And our snow is so drifty that it didn't make a ton of sense to dig out earlier. Here's Betsy Kreider's card again. It didn't make a ton of sense to dig out earlier because it just is so, it's so deep and so dense. Here's this one. We actually just did this card layout kind of recently, although we did facing the other direction. That was Tammy Ackerson's again. It's a good thing I'm wearing like a purpley top to match all of our purpley cards. There's that one again. So how do you guys organize your card ideas? How do you remember all these things? Like I have the actual cards from doing my demonstrator card swap, which if you want to be a demonstrator, this is a really fun thing that we do. But how do you guys organize your ideas? You're like, oh, I'm pretty sure I saw Meg show that card. Do you use Pinterest? Do you take screenshots and keep them on your computer? Oh my gosh. Terry says she's going golfing. She lives in San Diego. Yeah, that sounds really nice. Enjoy it. Meanwhile, Kathy and I will be digging out of our snow drifts here. There's that one. And, oh, here, this is good. Since I'm opening Susan LaCroix's card, you can see her layout here. So this is the card, and it is actually a band like this. And then her card opens like this. So you have little panels and stuff to put in there. So cool. And then the last one, Without Glare by Evie Di Piazza, is this one. There we go. You can kind of see that one with the pretty stamping. Again, Friendly Hello is a really terrific stamp set. So Doris says she saves videos and screenshots and prints pics. Oh, that's a good idea. You like print pictures and have like a little notebook of the ideas that you want to remember. So all good ideas. All right, guys. Well, that is our Friday Fresh Friday look at a past card turned from something past into an idea that will go ahead and overcome your stamper's block and give you ideas, all kinds of things moving forward. So all those ideas you're saving pictures of and so forth, great ones to make over and use with the things that you have on hand. Deborah says she's been making cards for over 12 years and wouldn't believe how many I have, all different techniques. Oh my gosh, yes. That's like, we don't always have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of times we just go rewind a few years and check out something that we did before that we really liked. It's like rereading a book that you really liked, you know you like it, so just read it again. All right, stay warm, guys. Have a terrific day, and I will see you on Monday for another Maker Mornings with Meg. Bye, guys.